Are you ready to lose weight and feel better than you've ever felt in your life? I, the Minister of Wellness, am offering an incredible 50% discount code on my Lose 100 Pounds in 100 Days book, which contains the exact meal plan that has helped thousands of our people achieve amazing results. Take advantage before this offer ends by visiting theministerofwellness.com and use the promo code NEWYOU22.
Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm pleased to be a contributor on our worldwide network of African Diaspora News channel. Please make sure that as you come in giving us a big thumbs up, and that you please share this broadcast. When you do that, you make it more likely that more folk will hear our message. And when you do that, you're elevating and strengthening the collective Black voice. And how many of you all know how important that is when our rivals are white major media conglomerates that have billions of dollars in sponsorships and budgets, and that has been on the front lines of dominating the minds of people in more ways than one for decades and decades. So we thank you so much for that. Family, I want you to listen. I want you to look at this report. This is a thread that was started by John Nicosia. Now, John Nicosia is president of News Cycle Media. Y'all know I vet my sources. Former managing editor of Mediaite and the IJR, former breaking news editor at DC Examiner. Now, some of you may be familiar with some of these media outlets. So this is the person that put this report out mainly. I also double checked with a couple of other news outlets that also covered these alleged allegations. These are allegations. But I always like to source my stuff. Now, we also have to be careful because we also know that your white media, sometimes they'll intentionally plant stories that they know are false just so that they can look like the victim down the road and that they can make somebody else look like the villain. And that makes them appear to have an air of legitimacy themselves down the road by planting a false or fake story. I'm bringing up this story for a number of reasons. Number one, I have been decreeing and declaring that Joy Reid is going to fall from MSNBC soon anyway, at some point. Not because I knew about this John guy, because this is something he just recently leaked and made it official, even though he briefly talked about it in November. But because you cannot be a mouth for white supremacy and white supremacists, dog Black people, and think that you just gonna thrive. That's not the hour we're in right now. Black, what I call Black looking people that are Black folks, but that allow their platforms and their voices and their areas of influence to be used for the oppressive class and to disrespect us. You're not winning in this season. You're being exposed in this season because you are actually spy agents against Black society. And we know that the history and the downfall of Black folks in America in particular has everything to do a lot of times with internal enemies that we didn't know were enemies, that were cooperating with oppressive systems. And they were undermining our actions. So yes, while there might need to be a major separation in how we govern ourselves with the oppressive class, sometimes separation must first happen within. First, talk Black to me. And this is not for me about beating up on quote unquote my own people. It's just that you're now in a time, you're the one that's used to using yourself as cover for our open enemy. And I'm just exposing you. In the same way it's written that there's a such thing as a wheat and a tare. A tare is a weed that looks like a wheat. Just like there's a such thing as a true prophet and a false prophet. There's a such thing as a wolf in sheep's clothing. So some of you that's calling certain people brothers and sisters, I'm sorry, but your third eye is dusty. Your first eye is dim and blocked because you don't know the difference. So don't get mad at me because I'm calling out a fraud and a fake. Now, with that being said, listen to some of the news he broke. He says, source at Comcast says Joy Reid will lose her 7 p.m. show in the next round of reshuffling at MSNBC. She does not have a show come mid-spring. The decision has been made. The only thing left is messaging, on the move, which will be ratings. As was the case with Chris Cuomo at CNN, he continues, Reid has allies at Comcast. However, she is now viewed as unmanageable by many. Also similar to Cuomo, it appears those allies have found out that she has been less than truthful about past incidents. He says more to come. Also, like Cuomo at CNN, watch for MSNBC, Comcast to defend her right up until the announcement. He said, I had the scoop last year. Chris Cuomo was going to be axed by CNN. And then after he was suspended, got the scoop that he was not coming back. I got very few personal attacks from his fans. Joy Reid's fans, however, he says, Lord. I also tweeted in November, executives have been contemplating a change for months, but not until recently has a decision been made. And he attaches the receipt that he gave in November about Joy Reid. Now, why was I prophesying her end long before this man did? My reasons were different for the reasons I told you earlier, because we're in a different spiritual environment. We understand that we're at war, and we understand Black family, that as we begin to come together, as we stay on code, as we begin to work with each other, as we begin to cooperate with each other more, we're understanding that it is activating an unseen realm that's assisting us on earth. In the United States, we can feel outnumbered because our numbers are no more than 13% as Black Americans here. And around the world, some of our Black brothers and sisters on the continent, in the Caribbean, and other parts and pockets where there are predominantly Black people may feel overwhelmed by white America and Western powers. But I want to disabuse you of this idea that there is no greater force than the United States. Now, of course, I want to be clear for those of you that would misuse my words. I'm not calling for us to rise up against in some deleterious way. I'm simply saying that there is a spiritual shift that's happening. And that spiritual shift that's happening is necessarily going to have real world effects on the here and now, because it's been prophesied, the fall of America. Why? Because of her mistreatment of God's chosen people. The stuff that they're calling climate change is not just climate change. It has to do with creation itself rejecting the spirit of injustice. We've been waiting in line for thousands of years, but most intensely for the past 500 years for justice. And America keeps spitting in our faces, stabbing us in our backs, giving every other group something but us. But now, baby, there's not just a changing of the guards, there's a changing of the gods. God, when I say the word God, I'm talking about one with force and power. So there's a new shift, and we're the new world rulers. More to come on this subject. It never pays when you work against your own people. Talk Black to me. Family, make sure that if you missed my absolutely amazing January 2nd, 2022, your Royal Bloodline Vault passcodes webinar activation, where I was dropping powerful spiritual gems about the power of the energy that's in your blood. If you missed that divine ritual where we began to heal ourselves of toxic karmic weights and curses throughout our lineage, I did a ritual before, and I continue it a couple of days after, that everybody that attended or purchased a link to attend, they were included in this ritual. If you missed it, you are so blessed because you can get the replay. Also in that, I brought on a dear brother, a Black metaphysician who was very powerful in his spiritual work, who also unleashed a spiritual wealth code for you to activate for the next 33 days. He revealed that and more to come. If you missed it, you're so blessed to get the replay. Go to my website, www.unpurposewithvicky.com. That's www.unpurposewithvicky.com, unpurposewithvicky.com. The link should be below somewhere. Get the replay. Go to the store. I also have all kinds of t-shirts about the ancestors and other powerful metaphysical gear. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show right here on African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for sharing this broadcast. I'm your sister with the curly braids. I can't wait to see you again.
During this holiday season, give your loved ones a gift that keeps on giving for the rest of their life. Torpedo Pot is the only affordable self-growing flower pot that ensures your future food survival. All you do is add soil, seeds, and seedlings to the flower pot and watch your plants grow. Torpedo Pot can grow nutritious food in such abundance and variety that you can produce more food than your local farm. Visit www.torpedopod.com.
Hello, everyone. Please make sure you subscribe to the African Diaspora News Channel app on these platforms.